Today we want to talk about something not gear related. Not as fun maybe as some other videos, but this one is one of the most important things you can try to learn and internalize. The official name for it is motivating light. It's kind of like how to trick people with your lights. The sign of a good lighting tech cinematographer is that you as a viewer don't really realize that anything's actually lighting the shot. Motivating light is necessary, whenever possible, really. Even right now, this kind of looks like we're lighting from a big window, which there is a big window here. We also have an actual key light that's giving me the most level in the shot. If we did our job right, you probably didn't really think about me being lit. I've always thought of it like this: the better you get at lighting a shot, the less people will notice. You'll maybe hear it on a set that something looks lit as a bad thing. And again, we don't want our viewers to be thinking about where lights were during a shot and that sort of thing. And so the better you become at motivating your light, the less people will realize that you lit something. For the most part, if you see the best DPs in the industry or even commercials you think are really beautiful, you're probably not thinking about what light is hitting them. You're thinking, this looks like they walked onto a set and the light coming from the sun was perfect that day and they just happened upon it. That's just not happening 99% of the time. I'm almost certain of it. So to reiterate, to motivate light means to give purpose behind the lights that you've artificially added into a scene. Again, our key here that we're using is being motivated by that little shred of window in the background, right? It's coming from the left side, and as a viewer, we see that bay of windows going out, and we assume this is just more of that window light. I know for me, this was something that took a while to learn, and I'm still trying to get better at it, and it can be kind of like a elusive idea, I think, as you're trying to learn how to light things, because this affects everything from the intensity of the light to the quality of the light. It really informs the decisions you're making when you show up and try to light a subject or a scene or whatever it is you're doing. To kind of illustrate this point and how we might approach a shoot, I'm just going to really quickly break down 3 different shoots we did in ways that we motivated the light during that shoot. This first one is of a friend, John Mark Nelson, amazing musician. Go check him out. He was in town from his home in LA. He was here in St. Paul, and we wanted to record some live music of him. And so he came to our studio. We cleared everything out to make a space that looked better for him to record some new music. For his song Bright, we really wanted to motivate with the sunlight that was already coming through. So again, what you're motivating is going to change all the time. Sometimes there's going to be more ambient light. Sometimes it's all totally artificial. In this scenario, we were wanting to supplement the sunlight that was already coming in. The first thing we did was take care of the background. We actually shot a 300D with a Fresnel and a warm gel through that back window of the frame there. As fake light. It's great. It's beautiful. But it really gives some interest to that background. And then for John Mark as the subject, we had sunlight falling across the floor that we wanted to leave. We want those shadows that really insinuates sunlight coming through. So again, that's your light quality. But what we didn't really want was sunlight hitting him in the face and being unflattering in terms of shadowing and the shape of his face. And so our solution was a really simple one. We put up an IntelliTech panel and set that to the same white balance as the sunlight was at the time. And that was as close as we could get it for the one-shot take we were doing of this song. And so that was a really easy, elegant solution to leaving the light quality of the sun across the floor, motivating this key light for his face from the window side, and getting us light that we were really pleased with. In this shot specifically, you can notice we didn't do a hair light. We wanted it to feel more natural, and so by omitting a hair light, which would have insinuated there's another source coming from the other side of his head, to leave it more natural, we omitted it. And we think it was really successful. We had the background contrast to be able to do that. And that's just one more thing to think about when you're trying to motivate the shot. A hair light is not the right choice all the time, is sort of the message. You just have to know what you're trying to get and move with that. And can you hear Allie? Yeah. we'll cut because Allie, our friend, who we call Goose, was being too loud. That's maybe over there. She's a great dog. We love her. This next one we did for a corporate client. They're Beckhoff. They're an awesome engineering company that we've done several shoots for. This one brought us out to San Jose, California. Essentially, they make software and stuff, and it's in a machine out there that's going to automate food product for restaurants. It's amazing. It was really cool to get to do that. While we were out there, we rented a 600D because we knew this was a bigger room and we wanted it to be a bit higher key. But we knew it was all white. There was a bunch of big overhead lights, bright room, white room, high key, and we wanted to sort of motivate from the ceiling, right? That light quality. And we blasted the 600D through a large softbox at the highest power it could output, so which was a lot. That's a very bright light. And so had the subject centered. And so that was how we got the key. Because the overhead light was what we were motivating from, it made a lot of sense to just put a hair light sort of above the subject, as you can see, because that overhead light would motivate light wrapping all the way around. So again, it's not too complex once you sort of break down what you're trying to do. If you know what you want to motivate from that point on, it's shaping as you want, getting the light to look as flattering or as natural or as harsh as you need it to be for the shoot. In this case, a lot of our shoots, we want more flattering light. A lot of narrative is not that way, right? Like you want them to feel like they're in the sun, so you leave it harsh, something like that. This last one was a video we did for our friends at mHealth. It was a video about their virtual care app. There is a scene in this where it was supposed to be a college student studying at his apartment. And so in this shot, we were motivating from practical lights. So you can see in the background, there's 2 lamps. And so all of our motivating light was with those in mind. So you can see both the key and the hair in the shot are that warmer lamp light. Again, softened as much as we could because we want to be flattering for this. There's no reason we needed it to be harsh. We softened that via, I think it was a lantern into a bounce to get a really soft key output that was coming from that left lamp side. Again, we dropped in, I think at the time it was a 300 overhead gelled to the same temp as the light. So again, the complexity is not too crazy. Think about what lights you have in your shot. If you don't have a motivating light in your shot, you can add one in. That's where practicals are really brilliant, is that you can put it way off in the background and then actually light from that lamp. One quick recap after looking at all those. Again, motivating light is taking a light that already exists in your scene that you've maybe put there in a practical or it's a window, and then building your actual lighting setup based on that light. It's one of the most powerful tools you have as a cinematographer. Give it the time, the care it needs. Watch commercials. Commercials are beautiful. Watch them, reverse engineer them. You can learn so much about how to motivate light well by watching the best people do it. I think that's all I've got. So ask questions if you've got them. Like and subscribe if you want to stick around and hear more. And we'll see you next time.